Nobody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports for today's Challenge Cup round of 16 review. One South African team through, one South African team out, and pretty emphatic way for the Lions to go through. We're down to 14 men and still managing to beat Racing 92, which is a huge result for the Joburg based side. But the Cheetahs, for them, their journey did come to an end. Quarterfinals this weekend should be really interesting to see how the Lions fare and how sort of this competition starts to unfold as we enter really the business end of things. And it should be a really exciting, last 3 rounds, quarterfinals, semi-finals, final. So we're really sort of heading to the business end of all the rugby seasons. We've got URC coming up to play on soon, Premiership, Top 14, and then obviously Champions Cup, Challenge Cup. So a very exciting time in the rugby calendar before we then gear up towards some internationals ahead of the World Cup, which kicks off in September. Before we look at the results this weekend, please do smash the like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. This is what happened this weekend. On Friday, we saw 2 games. And the first up, we did see Scarlets beating Seabury at home in Athletics, so they've progressed into the next round. And we also saw Clermont beating Bristol Bears 30 points to 26, despite playing away. The Saturday, we then saw the Cheetahs go down to Toulon 36 points to 21. It wasn't the strongest Cheetahs side, missing the likes of, for example, France Day, Nosia Masuku, a couple of players missing as well. So, but no harm, no sort of shame in that from the Cheetahs effort. I think that they'll be quite happy, I think, overall, with their first sort of season in the Challenge Cup. At the end of the day, they're always going to kind of be against it, and they're not playing regular rugby. And the Currie Cup, I think gave them an opportunity to sort of get some more regular rugby in, but it's a whole different standard, isn't it? It's one thing going from the URC to the Challenge Cup and going to the Currie Cup to the Challenge Cup. So that's going to be the Cheetahs' biggest sort of obstacle moving forward, is how can they continue to play at a high level and be able to compete in the Challenge Cup when they're not playing in a regular high-level competition. For example, before the Currie Cup, they weren't playing any other rugby besides the Challenge Cup. Yes, they introduced their own sort of, that Toyota Challenge, for example. It had, the likes of the USA A team out here, Italian A team, a couple of those sort of teams. So, either ways, you have to be innovative about it in terms of trying to make sure they get enough quality into their players' game time ahead of these games. Benton beating Connacht quite emphatically as well. 41 points to 19 was a very impressive result, and a lot of people are sort of now rooting for Benton, looking to see if they can go all the way. Saturday, other results saw Stade Francais going down to Lyon, so Lyon moving ahead there. For me, what a performance. What an absolutely sensational performance. The Lions going down to 14 men in the 16th minute, thanks to a red card to Emmanuel Chituka. Going and beating Racing 51 points to 28. Now, this is a Lions side who have been in the papers and in the news for all the wrong reasons. They've had boardroom struggles and squabbles. They've had massive, issues with the management. The coach's under a lot of pressure. The players under a lot of pressure. And what we saw, I think, is a team and coaching staff who have decided, right, well, we can't change what's going on in the boardroom, but we're going to have to try and pull together and start putting this through. That's an impressive performance. And you can put in that kind of performance and that kind of heartfelt performance. Who said it can't go all the way? It's a massive statement to make, and they're playing against Glasgow Warriors, who hammered the Dragons 73 points to 33. But this Lions side has got that fearlessness about them. They've literally got that, well, we've got absolutely nothing to lose, so we're going to go out and we're going to have a crack. Why not? If not, why not? And that kind of attitude, I think, is going to serve them really well. And hopefully, that is going to really sort of spur on that bit of the season, a bit of a late charge. They win their last 2 URC games, they could actually have every chance of making the Champions Cup, qualifying for next season. So they had a really good start to the season, then a big dip, and now they're sort of kind of making a bit of a comeback. Let's see how far they could go. As I said, the Glasgow Warriors hammering the Dragons. For Cardiff Rugby, 28 points to 27, just edging the Sharks. What a massive result that is for them, and Welsh Rugby in general. To see that they've got a team. 2 teams progressing into the quarterfinals. If we have a look at the quarterfinals, they have been determined. They will be this weekend. Friday, we will see Scarlets taking on Clermont. That will be at L'Athletics, so an opportunity for Scarlets to try and get a job done at home. Toulon then hosting Lyon, an all-French clash over there. Benton up against Cardiff. Glasgow Warriors versus the Lions at 8 o'clock on Saturday evening. That, for me, is the big one I'm looking forward to, and we will be live for that. And hopefully, I just want to see the Lions pull up an upset. Getting themselves to the semi-finals or a final would be absolutely sensational. And I think as supporters, we've been through a lot in the last couple of years from a Lions perspective. So really cool to have something like last weekend to celebrate. And hopefully, the dream continues this weekend. But let me know what you thought about the sort of the round of the Challenge Cup. Are you enjoying it? There's been kind of quite a lot of opposition from English and some French fans towards South Africans being saying, it's watering down the competition. I think it's harsh considering that, within the last 16, last 16 teams, in both competitions, last 8 and the last 8, there are 3 South African teams out of 5. So, more than the majority of them progressing. So I think if they have shown, for example, that from an ability point of view, that they deserve to be there. And I think hopefully at least one of the 3 South African sides can get into a semi-final and can really sort of add to the competition. I think they are adding to the competition. I think it's silly to say they're not after the performances we saw this weekend. But yeah, let me know what you stand on that down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.